lost was Capernaum's gain. Because Jesus is not going to stay where he's not wanted. He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Can you help me preach a little bit? And if any man hear my voice and harden not his heart, I'll come in and I'll sup with him. But you got to open the door. Have I got a witness in here? It's a sad place to be when you're having church but no Jesus. You can have all the singing you want, but you don't have any power. Have I got a witness in here? Yeah, you may well have a social club. Because if anything without Jesus ain't hitting no much. And I say it like I'm preaching? He showed up. And the problem in the text is, and I don't know how long I got to preach this, but the problem in this text is that the people who were following him, Andrew, Simon, Peter, and others, they are following Jesus and everybody's getting healed, but the one who was closest to him. You say, well, what are you talking about, Reverend? Well, if you read the text, his mother-in-law was sick. In Mark chapter 1, he told them, come on, I'll make you fishermen of men. And they dropped their nets to follow Jesus. And in following Jesus, Doris, you would assume that if you're close to him, look like you'd have first priority. I mean, if you love him like you say you love him, and he loves you like he claims he loves you, look like you would be the first one on his list. But what do you do when you're in line but you're not next? What do you do? What do you do when everybody getting healed but you? What do you do when everybody's in line and they're getting their miracle, their breakthrough, but back at the house you got a sick situation? You fellas ain't saying nothing, but if your mother-in-law is sick, that means your wife is not happy. And if mama ain't happy, I need some married folk to help me preach this here. If mama feeling bad, pray everybody had a bad day. Talk back to me if you can. I mean, you can get around some stuff, but if mama ain't feeling well, brother, you better get her to a doctor quick, because you're going to have some problems before the sun go down. Talk back to me if you can. He's put up his net to follow Jesus. He stopped his lucrative fishing business. And can you imagine? Already there's some tension somewhere. Because you mean to tell me you're going to do what? Follow who? And you say his name what? But ain't that Mary and Joseph? You talking about from Nazareth? You know the spots is running. You know, preaching to y'all sometimes like y'all love to be talking on yourselves, but sometimes you're like going to the movie theater with us. You know how we talk back at the screen? You literally got to rent the movie by yourself because there's so much you miss when they talk back. That's what it's like preaching to Derek every Sunday. Amen. God bless you. Yeah, the spots are running, the crows are running. And here, you got all this power. But we're sitting here in the dark. He's been casting out demons. When is he going to get by my house? And some of y'all might well be honest about it. Some of you all who've been through enough, they know that you've been through something. Preach, Brother Pastor. I think I will. You see, I can't talk to everybody right here because everybody don't know they've been through something. But some of us can testify, I've been through enough. I wish I felt like to hear to know I've been through something. You can't see it on the outside, but I can tell you from the inside, I've had some good things. I've had some hills to climb. I've been through enough to know I've been through some. Can I find 10 people on this side who can high five themselves and say, yes? Don't hit your neighbor, hit yourself. Yes! I've been through, I need 20 on this side. Yes! I've been through enough to know I've been through offering, serving the Lord, and there's still trouble at your house. It's one thing to talk about your neighbor's house. Because when it's across the street, you can say, wait, I say, on the Lord and be of good courage. And he will strengthen my heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. But when it's at your house, when it's on your side of the street, when it's pulled up in your driveway with your two Chevrolets and a traffic jam in the driveway, when your picket fence falls down, when your dog gets sick, when it's at your house. That's all right. I wish I could go back. I hate to bring this up. But you know, I learned, and I tell y'all this all the time, and I don't tell you this for my health. I'm telling you because I mean it when I say it. When you don't know what to say to people, sometimes the best thing you can do is just sit and wonder with them. Give them some water. Give them a napkin. You really don't have the answer. They really don't want to hear because somebody else has been 5 minutes before you and told them the exact same thing. Sometimes all you can do is just sit there and wonder with them. That's all right. I told y'all before, years ago, during high school and college, prior to my coming here, I worked for funeral homes in my little hometown. And I wish I could go back and apologize to the late Preston Sanders on March the 12th, 1990 on a Thursday. I wish I could apologize to him and tell him I'm sorry. I didn't know you losing your wife would take you through all that. I was just looking for a little check. And when I just pulled back in and took those chairs, I didn't know when we closed those doors and you had to be there by yourself. I didn't know what you were going through. I wish I could go back to 1993 and explain to Tasha Moore, who buried her mother in May and her father in June. And as I was going up the aisle, she said, Lord, you just can't take my mom. I'm sorry, Tasha. I wish I could go back and tell her. I didn't know that was going to throw you into something because I had not been there. And all those little words that I'd say and do the little praying at the house when you got into those family talk, I'm sorry. Because until you've been on that side of the street, until you had to deal with it yourself, you ain't going to talk about the Lord ain't going to put no more on you than you can bear. You don't know. You don't know how many times I done fall down. You don't know. It takes time. I understand that, but just sit with me and just wonder with me. I wish I could go back and tell them all, I'm sorry. Up until April the 14th, 2008, I didn't know what you were going through. I apologize to you. I apologize. I'm sorry. All right. You got to wait on it. And Peter's mother-in-law is sick. He's supposed to be Jesus' right-hand man. But he's got a problem at the house. And how many times have you had your own problem and you thought just knowing him, he would take care of it in his own time? But everybody else was getting their blessing. And you still showing up to church. Somebody in here right now, under the sound of my voice, know what I'm talking about? Everybody getting healed. And you still going to the doctor. Everybody getting a job. And you still filling out applications. But the good news is, the old folk was right. He may not come. You got to live a while to go through that. He may not come when you want it. But when he gets there, somebody ought to help me preach that. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. When he gets there, he's on time. Next there. He had been casting out demons. He had left the synagogue because the church folk got mad because some people were getting delivered. I don't know what he did to mess the people up at the synagogue. Looked like church folk were glad to see him. People get their lives back together. But for some reason, you know, church folk, if they can't take credit for it, if they ain't had their hands in it, have I got a witness in here? You might be slow to find the amen right there. But he left there and went over to the house. Now some say that Simon was not mad. The Catholics hold on to that, but Clement of Alexandria says that we don't know how he got to be a priest or a saint, but he was married. Yeah. I think the Catholic Church allowed him to get married now. Okay, y'all. You're right. Y'all want to act like it's brand new. Okay, you'll get that when you get home. Have I got a witness in here? Have I got a witness? Yeah. And Clement of Alexandria said that he and his wife, could have been so close that she helped him in ministry. Now, all we know is he went in the house. There were 4 of them in the room. He spoke over her. Now, there was a problem here because she had a fever. She was burning up. And if you know anything about the Old Testament, especially the book of Exodus around chapter 3, those with fevers, it was assumed that they were dealing with some demon issues. When he was at the synagogue earlier, I told you he did an exorcism. See, I got that one right. He did an exorcism. And he cast the demon out of the man. Now he's speaking to the fever. Because y'all, every sickness is not a physical sickness. Preach, brother. Do you know that the devil can grab your mind? Have I got a witness in here? The devil can grab your mind and eventually get your help. It's called the equation of emotion. When we studied the other week in Bible study, that anger plus something else equals to be something. Anger plus tension leads to depression. Anger plus grief equals suffering. You see, most people who are mad with you are not necessarily mad with you. Somebody else has punched their clock. And they pick you out. They take it out on you. Am I talking to anybody? When you show up at work and that person keeps bothering you, chances are something wrong back at the house. Can I go by one more? When you come to church, because you know you can get bullied right here in church. Come on, talk to me today. You can get bullied right here in church. Somebody who think they know more Bible than you, they've been holier than you are. They act like they ain't never done nothing wrong. Look, oh yeah, you can get beat up right here in church and nobody ever lay a hand or a glove on you. But they make you feel like you are less than who God says you are. But baby, can I tell you and the demons in hell from something? When God says I am, I am. I ain't got to impress you. I ain't got to act like you. I ain't got to shout like you. I ain't got to jump up like you. I ain't got to quote no scripture like you, because it's not how you shout, it's how straight you walk when you come back. Am I hearing on me? Mercy. And so he spoke to her because he wanted to deal with the paraphernalia of the magical practice. At the fever level, here's where I want to get to. She was operating in Peter's house, but she had no power until Jesus came in the room. All right. That's when the light comes on. That's when power comes in your life. When Jesus comes in your direction. All right. You cannot have power through you. You need another type of power. Now, he spoke over her, and look at what he done. And I'm gone, y'all. I'm through now. Look at what happens. The text says, verse 39 says, soon as the fever left her, she did not have to wait try and get herself together. They didn't have to wrap a towel around her head. It says immediately. She got up and started serving. I'm closing here. But you know, when you wait on the Lord, when He heals you, wonder, you know what the next thing you need to do is wait on the Lord. Y'all missed me. Let me give you a minute to let that soak in. When you wait on it, soon as He heals you, you ought to wait on it. That's how I didn't get it. Let me help y'all. When you wait on it, wait, I say, on the Lord. They that wait on the Lord, He shall renew their strength. Did y'all read that in Isaiah? They shall mount up on the wings of eagles, run and not grow weary, walk and not faint. So you didn't get it. When you wait on Him, you ought to wait on Him. A few more minutes, I'm going to Outback. But I'm waiting on y'all. Now I have somebody to wait on me. When He served you, you ought to get up and serve Him. As soon as she got well, she didn't just go running and never saw Him again. She got up and started serving Him. Can I go back by one more time? When you wait on Him, you ought to learn how to wait on Him. You ought to say, Lord, use me until you use me up. Too many people get healed and go back to what they used to be. But when the Lord's done something for you, you ought to put your arms and say, here am I. Use me until you use me up. Good day to you, Sandy Grove. May the Lord bless you real good. But is there anybody who don't mind waiting on the Lord? Because you waited on Him and He waited on you. Is there anybody in here that say, use me, Lord, until you use me up? Use my hands so I can clap right. Use my eyes so I can see right. Use my voice so I can sing right. Say yeah, yeah. Y'all you got to wait on Him. If you wait on Him, He will show up. Good day to you. But I got a little story I want to tell you. A little girl was lost in the woods, about 5 years old, and she was walking around saying A, B, C, D, I, F, G, K, and she kept repeating the alphabet. And right before the sun went down, a man working for a construction company